Hello, everybody. How's it going? YouTube Live. I'm a little jam-packed, busy today, but I want to squeeze this news in before I head on to my other chores that I have to finish this afternoon. But I want to get your thoughts on this latest topic. I think the news just broke. I think the past couple of hours or so. And I'm gonna read off of Variety. It's regarding Scarlett Johansson, the star of Black Widow movie. And guess what? She has filed a lawsuit against Disney. Holy smokes! One of Marvel Studios or Disney's biggest stars is suing. She's suing her own overlord, basically. Let me double check here. All right. Where are you, Variety? Here you go. Let me make it bigger for you guys can see. What is up with this advertisement, man? Hold on a second. Their advertisement is so annoying. I want to X out of that. Okay. I think it's gone. Good. All right. Disney's decision to release Black Widow. Where you go? Disney's decision to release Black Widow on Disney Plus at the same time it hit theaters has sparked a legal battle with Scarlett Johansson, the actress tasked with playing the Marvel superhero. And remember, Marvel Studios is owned by Disney. In a lawsuit filed Thursday in Los Angeles Superior Court, attorneys for Johansson alleged that the star's contract was breached when the studio opted not to debut the film exclusively in theaters, a move they claim depressed ticket sales for the Avengers spin-off. What's up, Chad Middleton? What up, what up, what up, what up? All right, so let me read off, and then you can chime in, okay? Much of Johansson's compensation was tied to the box office performance of Black Widow. If it hit certain benchmarks, bonuses would kick in. All right, let's pause that. That is actually not uncommon. That is actually more common than you might think. I believe I read somewhere that Robert Downey Jr. also had that same kind of arrangement with his Marvel movies, that he would get some kind of a back end percentage from the box office if it hits a certain level, and so that's why Robert Downey Jr. is filthy rich, on top of many other reasons. So this is not an uncommon thing. All right. So obviously Scarlett Johansson and I'm guessing the other Marvel stars probably do the same thing. Even yeah, basically they do the same kind of deal, and it's like a common practice prior to COVID, and COVID kind of throws everything off balance. Kind of forces everybody to, like, whoa, we have to readjust, we gotta to rethink the way we do our deals and stuff like that. But it seems that this deal was already made, or was already in on the table, or was already set in stone or in place before COVID. And you remember, they filmed Black Widow way before it. So to my understanding is that Scarlett is saying, or Scarlett's lawyers are saying, Scarlett's supposed to get these bonuses. If it hits a certain level, the box office tickets, and you, Disney, you guys prevented that from happening by releasing the movie also on the streaming service Disney Plus at the same time. So people, have the choice. Instead of going to the theaters, they're like, yeah, you know what? I don't want to drive. I don't want to, go get COVID. To have a chance of, if I'm in the theaters with other people, I might get the chance of getting COVID. I'm just gonna be at home and watching. I'm gonna be watching Black Widow in the comfort of my couch on Disney Plus. And so the box office sales is not, to a level that would give Scarlett Johansson the bonuses that she's agreed to, or she has been promised. The I don't know what the numbers are. We don't know the details of what those bonuses are, but now she's pissed. It's like, now I'm not getting that bonus because you guys throw the movie into the streaming service. So that's basically the nutshell of it. Disney announced in March that Black Widow, among several of its 2021 films, would premiere simultaneously on the studio's subscription-based streaming service for a premium $30 price. Holy crap, dude! I don't want to brag. I'm sorry, but it just I feel kind of humbled and grateful that I get to attend critic screening. But because man, $30, I feel sorry for you guys, man, that you guys have to pay that much just to watch a movie on your own laptop. Uh, and on the big screen as the movie theater industry rebounded from COVID-19. On July 9, Black Widow set to pandemic era box office record with its $80 million in North America and earned an additional $78 million overseas and $60 million on Disney Plus. Ticket sales steeply declined in subsequent weeks, in the weeks following that, and currently stand at $319 million globally, putting Black Widow on track to become, get this, one of the lowest grossing Marvel movies of all time. Everybody's loving Black Widow. I did not love the movie, but everybody's loving it, and it should make sense that the movie should have hit like close to $1 billion mark, just like any other Marvel movie would. $300 million is quite low for a Marvel movie. Considering they with the previous Ant-Man or Avengers Endgame, they always brag about like, oh my God, we beat the Titanic. Oh my God, we beat Avatar. And now it's like $319 million. It's a lot of money for us, but it's not a lot of money compared to how Marvel Studios had been making all this time. So yeah, it's one of the lowest grossing Marvel movies of all time. So here it is, $80 million in the first weekend, $80 million in North America, $78 million overseas, $60 million on Disney Plus. Those are the numbers on the first weekend, opening weekend. Stupid ad. Let me turn this off. Freaking Variety and their ad. Can I click this? There you go. Okay. Shortly after its debut, the National Association of Theater Owners, the industry's main trade organization, asserted the simultaneous release of Black Widow in theaters and on streaming cost Disney more in revenue per viewer over the life of the film. They think so, but no, that's not the case. Because, as it says here, however, the lawsuit that Scarlett Johansson files against Disney, it notes that Disney's stock rose after the company disclosed the rental figures, which is $60 million on Disney Plus. Let's pause there. Chad Middleton says Disney found a loophole, and HBO Max has it for $15. Really? Okay. I don't have HBO Max, so I'll take your word for it, Chad. But that's half the cost of enjoying a movie, a premiere, like a new movie on Disney Plus. You're right. It's much more affordable. Disney chose to placate Wall Street investors and pad its bottom line rather than allow its subsidiary Marvel to comply with the agreement. So Marvel has the agreement with Scarlett Johansson, but Disney's like, hey, we gotta appease our investors, we gotta appease our shareholders. To no one's surprise, Disney's breach of agreement successfully pulled millions of fans away from the theaters and towards its Disney Plus streaming service. Wall Street Journal that report this, sources close to Johansson estimate that the decision to release the film concurrently on Disney Plus resulted in $50 million in lost bonuses. So that answered my question earlier. I guess that's pretty much the range of money that she was going after. Had the movie made a lot of money at the box office, around $50 million or so. So many top actors include back-end profit participation as part of their contracts, but the rise of streaming services such as Netflix has removed those forms of compensation, and the decision by traditional movie studios like Warner Brothers and Disney to release films on their own in-house subscription service has further upended these old ways of doing business. When Warner Brothers opted to send its entire film slate to HBO Max, as you all know, realizing that the movie theaters were only operating at limited capacity for much of the year, the studio had to pay tens of millions of dollars to the stars of those films. That resulted in actors such as Will Smith, Denzel Washington, and Keanu Reeves earning their full back end on the movies that Warner Brothers released on its new service. If successful, Johansson's suit could embolden more actors to seek additional compensation for films that migrated to streaming services, and may lead to agents including stricter language in contracts regarding compensation if an exclusive theatrical release is compromised or bypassed. Johansson's attorney suggested that her suit could be a precedent setter. So again, I had to talk fast because I got a lot to do today. But yeah, as you can see here with the WB and HBO Max, the WB movies going to HBO Max, it seems that because of that, WB has agreed to pay the back end percentages, that their WB stars are owed or are promised, whereas Disney, they're not doing that to Scarlett Johansson. They're like, yeah, we're gonna put Black Widow straight to or like simultaneously to Disney Plus, but we're not gonna honor Marvel Studios' agreement with you. Warner, at the very least, say what you want about Warner Brothers. You might like them, you might hate them, you might despise them for simultaneously releasing their movies to HBO Max, but at least they honor their agreement to their stars, and so they have to like really find all those monies to actually pay the full earning of the back end to these stars. So kudos to WB and HBO Max for that. So a few points here, guys. Let's see here. I think they should have released it before Endgame because her character is dead. Yeah, but that's a topic we have gone over many times before. It's like it's every critic, every fan's like it's a little too late, too late. The story doesn't fit the timeline. But that's not the topic at hand here. The topic at hand is about this. It's not about the criticism of the movie, okay? Because your point, chat, is about the movie itself. Okay, we want to stay on topic right now. So basically, let me give you guys a few points here. Basically, if those of you read this and you guys say, hey, what's the big deal? She's already a millionaire. Scarlett Johansson's already well off. Why is she after her bonuses? It's not about that. It's about principle. It's about the principle of it, man. Yeah, she doesn't. Yeah, we don't make as money as she does. She's hella rich. That's true. But it's the principle of it all. Like if you work, and if you have a deal in place, a signed contract, that deal or that work needs to get paid. Your work needs to be compensated for, and that contract needs to be honored. It's the principle of it all. Just imagine yourself, man. If you sign a deal with anybody, anything, as little as freaking like AT&T or Spectrum, and they're not like holding up their end of the bargain, you'd be pissed off, right? You'd be pissed off. Like, what is going on? I paid this much, and you're giving me a shitty service for this much of price. It's like, that's not what we agreed on. So it's a matter of the principle of it, and you don't want to get screwed over in cases like this or in other cases like this. So it's the principle of it all. And the second point is it's very telling. It's very revealing. Okay, because Disney is a company, just like any other company. Disney is a corporation, and that means they have fiduciary responsibility to their shareholders. They don't necessarily have fiduciary responsibility to you or their actors. And this story is very, very, it is as American as apple pie. It is as American as apple pie. The story of corporations screwing their workers. In this case, their actors. But yeah, they, just like the article says, man, their responsibilities are to their shareholders, to their investors. And so if they can cut corners, all right, if they can shortchange you in order to get to that bottom line, they would. Because why? They are a machine. Corporations are a machine. Oftentimes you can pressure corporations, to do the right thing. Obviously, like I said, Warner Brothers actually do the right thing with their actors in this regard. But Oftentimes also they don't do the right thing. They just like, okay, how can we maximize profit? How can we maximize profit? And in the case of in the age of COVID pandemic, with the theaters, only opening in limited capacity, they're like, oh my goodness, we can't lose money. We put so much money into making this movie. We got to make money in return. It's all about return on investment. So we got to release it simultaneously on Disney Plus. So business wise, from business standpoint, Disney's decision to do so makes sense, but it's unethical for them to like pretty much shit on Marvel Studios' agreement with Scarlett Johansson. They should not have done that. They should have done at the very least they should have honored both. Like, all right, we gotta make money, we gotta hit bottom line, but at the same time, let's also please our lead star Scarlett Johansson. Don't make her angry. So I think they dropped the ball on that one, but it's very telling. It's very revealing that Disney at the end of the day, back in Pride Month in June, this past June, Disney, Coca-Cola, Nike, and all these companies, right? They put like a pride flag or rainbow colors on their, I don't know, rainbow message on their Twitter, on their social media account. They make it seem like, oh, we are allies and stuff like that. But let's keep it real. Let's keep it real. It's not like they're doing that because they're morally correct or like their heart's in the right place. No, they want to appeal to the LGBTQ community because LGBTQ community are also their customers. Okay, that's how they think. So you got to understand how corporations work sometimes, and so yeah, wow, I hope Scarlett Johansson wins this case. It looks bad though. The optics looks bad that the lead star of your big movie this year is suing you. That doesn't look good. Disney likes to keep their reputation clean, as this family friendly, happiest movie studio in the world. So this does not look good at all, most definitely. And pay up, Disney, pay up. Yeah, some people on Twitter said she took roles for LGBT characters. Then who cares? She's rich. They should just pay her. Yeah, they should pay up. They should pay up. All right. It's the principle of it all. It's the matter of the principle. I think the last point I wanted to make is, it's tough, man. We're still, we as an industry, film aficionados, film studios, film actors, we're still trying to figure out right now how to adjust or how to return to normalcy. It's not even normalcy yet. Right now, I mean, you hear the COVID spike again in LA. A lot of restaurants are closing down again. So like, because a lot of people refuse to be vaccinated. So like, everybody's just trying to figure out how can we work with the situation at hand right now, because we have not dealt with this before. This is an unprecedented situation, a pandemic that happens only like once in a century. So it's gonna be fluid, all right, until something's gonna be a standard moving forward. Right now it's gonna be fluid, trying to decide how we deal with actors or how we deal with how we get money back for the movies we make, how can we get audiences in theaters safely and stuff like that. It's still in the process. Everybody's just in the process of trying to figure out how would that work at the moment, until a standard set is in place, permanently or moving forward. Bob Pope is here. Bob Pope is here. He says Scarlett is being dumb. Streaming is the future. HBO already hinting they will keep streaming from the point. Yeah, agree to disagree, my friend. Agree to disagree. I think again, back to the principle of it all. If you have an agreement with somebody, you want that somebody to hold up their end of the bargain. All right. Maybe if this lawsuit fails somehow, then that would change the scenery of the game. Maybe if this lawsuit fails, then other studios will be like, you know what? we're not gonna from this point forward. We're not gonna do any back end percentages anymore for our actors. Um, but if she wins, then this would definitely embolden other actors to like, hey, we could try to do more to try to be more uh, enforceful. Is that the word, enforceful, in making sure that the studios follow through on their promise. For the next contract, we want to make sure that it's in there, in the fine prints. But I think my guess is that Scarlett Johansson and Disney are gonna settle this out of court. I don't know for how much. We don't know yet, but they're gonna settle this. And I think my guess is Disney's defense. This is attorneys. Their defense is gonna be like, they're gonna play dumb. They're gonna like, oh, we didn't know. We had no idea. You had this agreement with Marvel. We own Marvel, but we didn't know that. You had this agreement that you're gonna get bonuses when the box office. We didn't know. We didn't know. We didn't know. I don't know if the playing dumb will be a good defense, but I think I think that's what they're gonna. I think that's gonna be their play basically. But they're gonna settle this, and the details of that settlement are probably not gonna be disclosed to public. That's my take. That's my prediction. Um, Tyler says, guess it's a good thing Disney already killed off Natasha. Right? Disney's probably saying like, all right, we'll just give her money and we won't have to deal with her anymore anyway. We're already done with Natasha from now on. Tyler says, reminds me of how WB paid Gal Gadot and Patty Jenkins $10 million to praise Wonder Woman 84 going to HBO Max. That's right. That's right. See, it's all about the Benjamins, man. It's all about the Benjamins, Um, we gotta be able to read between the lines. Like I said earlier, I'm gonna reemphasize this. When corporations are like during Pride Month, during June, they're like, oh yeah, we're with the gay community. They make it seem like they're morally, awesome and stuff like that. No, but they just want to sell stuff. They know that LGBTQ are their customers as well. And to Tyler's point, it doesn't matter if deep down maybe Patty Jenkins and Gal Gadot have reservations about their movie Wonder Woman 84. But once you pay them, they're like, yeah, it's a great movie. It's a great movie. It all comes down to the money. Money, bottom line, shareholders, all that stuff. That's how the game is played. Bob Pope said, if most of her money did come from ticket sales, they should at least compensate her for the money they made for streaming. That would be one option. That's not a bad idea. The thing is, they got to come up with something to appease her. This is the lead star of your big movie. You can't just screw her over like that. That's not right. That's not right. I didn't like the movie Black Widow. We can have a discussion about whether or not we like Black Widow, and that's another topic. But this is just a matter of principle. A matter of principle. I sound like a broken record now. Bob Pope says, the Wonder Woman 84 is so bad, they should be grateful for anything they got paid. Right? That movie was horrible. I'm sorry, you guys. Except for the first few minutes, beginning scenes where it looks like a Richard Donner Superman-esque kind of thing. I liked it. I liked the beginning scenes of Wonder Woman 1984 when she was rescuing everybody left and right, including in the mall. That was fantastic. But then it went downhill from there. But I digress. So yeah, this is a very interesting development. And you know what? I hope Scarlett Johansson wins this case for how much ever that she's going to agree to receiving. But I hope she wins. And Disney, pay up, man. Pay the F up. Don't screw over your actors, man. Not cool. So let me know what you think about this topic. I gotta get back to doing my chores. Look at her. She's so beautiful. Share your thoughts in the comment section below. And as always, subscribe. Everybody, thank you for chatting with me. Bob, Tyler, Chad Middleton, thank you so much for tuning in. And let's rock this.